We always need to have a clear space to travel around the tree for all of the cuts.
I just love the thought of
regenerating, renewing, rebirthing whenua.
We may not be able to fix the problem by ourselves, but we can be the start of the solution when conservation's given an opportunity.
With the environmental issues we're facing, you're never going to feel like you're doing enough.
It's never too late to change the game.
It's not about the doom and gloom, it's about taking care of Te Taiao.
Now a new generation of kaitiaki take up the challenge of protecting and restoring our natural environment.
My name's Emma and I am part of the WAI Wānaka field crew. I do one day in the office working as part of the education team for WAI as well. I'm a very organised person. I'd like to say I'm a kind person. I'm also very shy. I have been able to use my shyness, quietness when teaching children. I look for myself in some of the kids. And I definitely find kids that I think, that was me when I was a kid. We would love for them all to have really good water, nice and clean and fresh and good habitat. WAI is the Māori word for water, and it stands for Water Action Initiative. It's hard for a general person of the community to understand. Just looking at the Wānaka area, is this healthy? Is this not healthy? We want to have the education available to the community to be able to work together to improve the biodiversity in the area.
I went out the other day, we just reopened the tracks a little bit as well and chucked some more pink tape on. The track to the north isn't as clear, but you just basically bomb down the spur. Talk about how we're going to work this with 5 or 6 vehicles on site.
WAI Wānaka currently employs a mixture of field staff and office staff. The field staff are essentially helping farmers achieve their freshwater monitoring goals. The work streams we do include weed control and planting, which leads on to plant maintenance, and pest control. Rabbits, stoats, ferrets, weasels and possums are the big ones.
The work streams are so diverse that they actually combine in a way to create a healthy ecosystem. So we're going to go have a look at some of the traps. Myself and Nina have been setting up some of these traps along some trap lines, but no silly buggers on the bridges, okay? Just take it easy. Yeah, cool. Right. Yeah, cool. I did tell them that down there too. That's right. I think one of you guys was asking if there were fish in here. So, and part of the reason this project's so important is because by regenerating this area, removing the pests and removing the pest plants, it's going to increase the water quality, which in turn might allow for some fish to come back and live in here. So these are the auto traps that we use for our pest control management, and they can automatically reset themselves after they do catch something. After school, I went to do a bachelor's degree in education. I didn't want to be a school teacher. I was not interested at all in teaching in a classroom. I wanted to teach kids things that they haven't been exposed to before. Everyone feeling okay?
Yeah, I'm feeling.
And sometimes the traps can give you a fright like that too.
Oh, that's huge.
Yeah.
Oh my God!
Quite big.
Wow, that is. Its head's going off. Can I take that home as a souvenir?
The hardest part was figuring out where in New Zealand I want to live. But I loved my experience overseas in Canada and I really would like to go back there, but Wānaka's almost that New Zealand version for me, and I can't imagine living anywhere else in New Zealand now. Wānaka is the most beautiful place in the world. The Jobs for Nature crews around New Zealand are probably some of the healthiest, happiest people, I want to say.
Hey, there he is.
And now Simon's going to lead us through some grip stretches for the day.
Circle up. Yeah, gluteus maximus running right.
Well, I think this is a good time to acknowledge that we only have Simon here for one more week and to do some Simon Wolf Memorial butt drops. So we're going to hold a metaphorical spade in front of us and into a deep lunge.
I'm going to be very gutted if my work at WAI ends. The biggest thing is that I don't want to stop working with the people that I'm working with. They're just a really awesome bunch of people. They are my friends now, which is awesome.
Maybe smash that section out in the next couple of hours. If we manage to do that, we'll just keep pushing through that way. But stick together because the chainsaws are on the other side. Cool.
So today the team are removing wilding conifers because the conifers outcompete the native plants, particularly in the high alpine reaches of Wānaka where we've got very fragile tussocks and Spaniard grasses. The pines come through and quickly take over those landscapes, and then you have a landscape that's less suitable for the native fauna. So when you've got a coning tree, anywhere downwind within a 15k range, you could be expecting seedlings.
So that'll stop it from being able to grow. It just ensures it's going to die, but it's just a better method than using spray. Yeah, hard to get that.
It's chunky.
20-second chainsaw.
So now we're working with farmers across the basin. It's been really fascinating throughout the project and getting to know these farmers, and we've been able to sort of guide them along that journey of meeting upcoming regulations.
Yeah, usually we come in, get all the small ones, and then after that we'll come in with the chainsaws to get the ones that we weren't able to handsaw. Other sites that we go to where it's primarily all now wilding pine trees, the biggest goal that we try to do is to be able to come back in and then plant native trees after. So take out all the invasives and then come back through to plant natives.
The end of the funding is what is sitting on our minds. One of our big challenges right now is what might happen to some of these planting sites if we're not there. I got a quote from a landowner the other day in person who said to me, "We don't know what we would have done without WAI." He can't believe what is going to happen if we're not there.
So right now we're sitting in a remnant gully of mountain beach on the side of Mount Maude. The special thing about this is that it escaped historical burnings over hundreds of years. The hope with controlling the conifers as they push in is that if we can pull those conifers back and continue to keep that work up, the beach will start to push back out.
Go down that way.
Yeah.
We don't all have to go down the same side.
I'll climb the trees over there.
Yeah, there are a few down that way. We could go
There's two there, though.
Sweet.
I have probably learnt more in my year and a half or so working at WAI, doing things that I never thought that I would have done. We just got glimpses of Kyle and Simon and Tom on the chainsaws, and we'd just be like, wow, that's so cool. We're probably never going to do that. I think there was about 8 of us girls in the crew. We all got our chainsaw qualification at the same time. I think it's awesome. It's just a bit of girl power. the Jobs for Nature funding were to end and our work was to stop, I don't think that means the work is going to stop, if that makes sense.
Someone said something really interesting to me the other day, and it was the Jobs for Nature projects were created as part of a COVID crisis, but what they've become is a climate crisis response. So these 3 years have allowed all these organisations to get on their feet, and now it's how do we keep that stuff going to see through these programs.
People are making a difference out there, whether you can see it or not, and that all comes back to just education. WAI is enabling this learning within the Wānaka region. I hope that in the future, the passion and skills that have been created in WAI continue across all of New Zealand.